What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are all doing great. We have the Orcs Path event kicking off now, and if you want to get Shayak, you're going to have to go the left side. If you want the dog, go the right side. If you want the mythical tome, well, the dog's soul, that is. If you want the mythical tome, it's just right down the middle. Down below, there's going to be a few different links. One of those links is going to be to the calculator that I'm going to talk about in just a minute. The other link is going to be to some Aptoide information, which if you're going to make any purchases during this event, I highly recommend downloading Aptoide because you're going to be getting up to 25% off your purchases. Use my code down below for an extra 5% off. I'm going to try to post a video over into Discord. I'll show you guys where it's going to be. It'll be in this Aptoide section right here, and it's going to be how you can access it from the cloud. So you won't even have to download BlueStacks. Nothing like that, in case you're interested. It does help support the channel as well, so I very much appreciate if you guys do make purchases through Aptoide, you use my code. Either way, I've been using it for a while. It's been great. Now, past that, when we look at this calculator, it's going to be pretty expensive. You guys can click this down below. You can figure it out yourself. It's very self-explanatory, but let's run through it really fast, and then we'll talk about what my plans are and if I think it's even worth it. So if you're just going for Shayak, it's going to cost 76,500 points. If you want to go for both of them, it's going to cost 143,000 points. If you're a little bit crazy, you're going to go for everything. It's not going to cost quite this much, but I really don't think at that point you really care if it costs a 250 points less, because if you're going for everything, you would have already gotten these two. So then it's going to cost, well, 250 points less. So keep that in mind. I didn't want to try to prompt Claude to fix this. So I was like, forget about it. So what we have here, we're just going to go for these two. This is my plan. I'm probably going to try to go for both of them. 143,000 points. Now, your current points for me is going to be 50. I haven't pushed anything, so we'll throw in the 50 here. What this is going to do, you scroll down here to the bottom. It's going to show your current progress. This, of course, you could change it as you go, but this is mostly just for anything that you haven't planned for to throw it in here. You could just use this to track your entirety, but if you want to plan out your shard summoning, this is what I recommend doing. You obviously see the point totals of each thing here. If you have a plan to pull 5 sacred shards, it's going to upgrade the points or update the points down here as well. So 5 sacreds, it says 22,000 points. Let's make sure that's correct. 5 times 4,500, it is 22,500. Why did that sound too high for me? Either way, that is the point. So 22,500 points from 5 sacred shards. Say you threw in 10 primal shards as well. We have a cool little progress bar down here also. It's also very red. Let me know if I should change it to a different color. Maybe too much red. First it was purple. I didn't like it. I asked it to change it. Then we have void shards. Let's go 20 void shards. We'll go 10 ancient shards. And then you can mix and match your energy. If you're doing stage 10 hard, obviously the event dungeon is not around anymore, but stage 30 of the event dungeon is equivalent to 10 hard, in case you're curious. But stage 10 hard would be 1.76 points per energy. Stage 20 normal is 1.9 points per energy. So say you dropped in 10,000 energy during this event, it's going to tell you how many gems you would need to do that. So 3,080 gems. It doesn't say the exact energy refills, but you could do this pretty easily. You could literally just go 3,080 divided by 40. It's going to be 77 gem refills. So 77 times 130, it's going to be that 10,000 energy number. Of course, a little bit over. This is assuming you're level 60. If you're not level 60, it's going to be a little bit different. So if you were going to do this, you would be at, once all this is said and done, 76,000 out of 143,000 points. So total plan, 76,000, still need 66,000 points. That is a lot of points. This event is not cheap. Now, if you're somebody debating on which one you should go for, I'm going to go ahead and say the dog without Shayak is not nearly as good as the dog with Shayak. The soul is very, very powerful in the dog. I'd say the dog is at least half as good solo as he is with Shayak, and the soul probably isn't going to double his effectiveness. Definitely not the way Shayak would. I'd honestly say if it's between one or the other and you don't have Shayak, get Shayak. He's going to make the dog more powerful. It's going to be easier to pick up some souls down the road for the dog, getting the 1, 2, 3, and 4, 4 being the most important for the crit damage. Let's talk about real quickly why I say Kro'khad is going to be basically half as effective without Shayak. First up, his passive. His passive is going to scale up to 50% with Shayak versus 25% without Shayak. His A3 is going to get an extra hit if Shayak is on the same team, whereas without Shayak, it's just going to be the individual hit. His A2 ability, once again, these debuffs can't be resisted if Shayak's on the same team, so no accuracy needed. His A1 ability is going to deal double damage when counterattacking if Shayak is on the same team. Not only is it in Kro'khad's kit, but also in Packmaster's kit. Whenever he's attacked, he's going to counterattack with all the other dogs, specifically Kro'khad. So the damage difference is honestly not even comparable. If you don't have Shayak and you want to use Kro'khad, definitely go for Shayak. He is so much more valuable and harder to get than the soul is alone. The soul you can buy over time. Shayak, you're likely to never pull it again. We all know how terrible these daggone 15x events are, and the rates of actually getting the champions is going to be very low. So something to keep in mind. With 5-star being very valuable, specifically if you're running Nature's Wrath. If you're running Nature's Wrath on this champion, the 5-star soul will give you an extra 15% damage boost, which is pretty massive because he will be placing debuffs. Now, like I said, if it's only one or the other, Shayak, 100%. Now, he was a previous fusion, so you may already have Shayak, but it's just simply the dog's soul is going to be easier to get in the future versus getting lucky and pulling Shayak. Now, if you have Shayak already, you have the dog, going for the soul will make a pretty big difference, especially if, well, actually not even especially, no matter if you're going PvE for him, so Hydra, not so much Chimera, but possibly, but Hydra being a big one, but the Arena. The Arena, he's actually fine at 1-star, technically. The 1-star blessing I would use is the same one as I would use at 5-star, which would be Lightning Cage to protect the stone skin on him, and it's very similar. However, you do get the 4-star benefit of an extra 38% crit damage, which is massive for a damage dealer, so you do really want to get that. And then the Lightning Cage protection does boost up to 75% versus 50%, but ultimately, it's really, I guess, comes down to your decision. Do you want to go for it or not? Because 1-star could probably suffice for a little while. Now, if this champion's going to be worth it for you or not, I plan to get him as soon as possible, get everything situated. I will go for Shayak as priority and then pick up the dog if I can, but it's going to be an awesome champion for 3v3. I did a video about it already, and if you haven't checked it out, go check out that video. But essentially, they're a free-to-play version of Venus Cupidus. Venus Cupidus made for an excellent 3v3 team. Now, is it going to do great in Gold 4? Probably not. But will it do great getting into Gold 1? Yeah, most likely. For Live Arena, I kind of want to try them out as well, because yes, you separate the combo, they're not going to function as well together. But if you pick Armans and then you have Shayak plus the dog, well, what's the chance somebody's actually going to ban Shayak and the dog? Well, if they ban one of those two, you get your Armans through. If they end up banning Armans, well, now you got Shayak and the dog through. So it's one of those situations where no matter what they ban, you still have backup plans. If you expect them to ban Shayak in that situation, well, now your dog's your damage dealer. If you expect them to ban the dog, well, Shayak is there for a little bit of turn meter boost. So as long as you build them accordingly, it could actually be a pretty cool combo. And I am going to try that out as soon as I get them. However, I got a feeling I won't have any videos out for this combo until Sunday. So if you're deciding if you want to go for it or not, you can jump in my Discord, ask any questions. I'm happy to help you guys out in deciding, but I probably won't have any guide videos out until around Sunday once I go for this stuff, because I'm going to give it a little bit of time to decide how much energy I need to use, how much gems I need to use, how many shards I need to use, because right now, my shard stockpile, let's say I used absolutely everything I have. And I'll show you guys what I could actually get in just a moment. As far as okay, obviously this tournament's going on. Pick up the soul stone from not soul stone, the small soul stone, but pick up the prism shard from here. There's no event. It's not going to benefit anything, but you will get points from farming this, so that will be nice. I'm going to do that today. But either way, let's take a look at what I have as far as my points. If I refresh this page, it should reset everything. It did. So let's say I'm going to go for both. Current event points, I got 50 big points. I'm going to go ahead and check out my shards. I have 3 sacred shards. I have 5 primal shards. Let's bump that up to 1 extra. We have 56 ancients, which are not really that valuable in these events. We got 11 voids. For dungeon farming, obviously stage 20 is the best. Something else to keep in mind is if you want to get a lot of silver, right now it's not a bad time. If you got the Forge Pass, which I need to complete the weekly challenges, and I may have to spend a little bit to complete this as well. If you have this, though, you will be getting extra silver. You could even consider logging into mobile, purchasing the Raid Pass. If you're a spender, if you're not, don't take any of this advice. But the Raid Pass will also boost your silver that you earn. Not for sure if it's just campaign or not. I forget. I usually don't get it. I probably still won't get it. But if you're going to dump a bunch of energy into stuff, spider farming, while yes, I do recommend farming higher stages for better drops, accessories are typically leaning more towards the set bonuses versus the no stat bonus accessories. So farming a bunch of even stage 20 and selling all the accessories will give you a lot of silver. So if you're in a situation like me and you're very low on silver, it may not be a terrible idea to farm a bunch of spider, sell everything, and then get some more silver, spend some of your gems, and just basically convert this over. Now is a pretty good time to do that. But either way, let's say I used all of these gems. These gems could be, let's say it's 5,000, okay? 5,000 gems divided by 40, 40 gems per refill times 130. I could spend 16,000 energy into somewhere. I'll have a little bit more based on, some packs I purchased, some energy here, but let's see what we're looking at. So 16,000 energy into stage 20. If I'm doing everything, I still need 63,000 more points. That's not for everything. Yeah, actually it is. It is for everything. So I could pull all that I have, not purchase any more packs, and be 63,000 points away. Now, if I was to move this number over into here, then I am now 67,000 points away. So you can see a little bit of the difference there and what you're going to need to go for, depending on which area you want to farm. Of course, stage 10 hard is going to give you the best gear, but stage 20 going to give you more energy, more points per energy, as well as more accessories to sell for eventually more silver. Now, if you're visiting the shop and deciding what to purchase, right off the bat, this is the most points per dollar you're going to get anywhere. Check this out. We have 14,000 points here, 14.5 divided by 20, 725 points per dollar. Now, do I recommend purchasing this? I mean, it depends on you, because this is not giving you any special champion. It's literally only going for the event. But in a situation like where I'm at, I have a remaining 63,000 points to go. 2 of these would be 30,000. Basically, I'm looking at, what is it, like 38,000 points just from this, which is half of what I need. For some comparison, 30,000 points from Sacred Shards would be like 6 Sacreds, right? Let's see. 6 Sacreds, somewhere around that. Be a little bit, actually, yeah. So 6, 7, let's say it's 7. 7 Sacreds is $140 plus. If you were to just purchase this, it's going to be much less. It's going to be $40, $55. Now, if you're going to purchase energy, this energy deal right here was 243. Not this energy deal. That's a free one. That one's free. That one's a good one. This was like 243 energy per dollar, but it's over 7 days. It's not going to do you a whole lot here. But 243 energy per dollar is going to put you at, let's see, let me come in here at stage 20. If you're doing 243 times 1.94, that's going to be 471 points per dollar spent, which is still a lot less than that 725. Now, if you were going to compare it to this other one, 97.50 divided by $15. Let's see, 97.50 divided by 15 is going to be 650. I accidentally entered the 3. It's going to be 650. So still, 650 is going to be good. 720 is going to be very good. So I would definitely lean more towards this one. And then this if you needed it. But either way, just something to keep in mind. If you're relatively close and you are a spender, you may be debating on spending. And the Orcs Path is just by far the best if you need a lot of points and your budget's a little bit more limited. Of course, if it's not limited, go in here and just purchase away at the crazy levels of primal shards here. Whatever you do, good luck in actually going for this and getting it complete. My plan is going to be to likely spend down a little bit of gems. I really don't want to spend more than 3,000 gems. So 3,000 gems, let's say I did that. 3,000 gems divided by 40 is going to be 75 times 130, 9750 energy. Let's say I did it in stage 20. Not for sure if I'm going to do that or not. It's going to be 609 runs of stage 20. Total energy, 9750. Gems needed 3,000. Of course, already did the math. For Sacred Shards, I'll do 3. It's no problem. I'll probably end up pulling 5 primals just because Want to get as good of chunk of points done as I can. We'll pull 11 voids. I don't mind to drop my ancients down to like majority of them, honestly. Let's say I did 40 ancients. So 40 ancients, I could do some mysteries. Let's say we did 200 mystery shards as well. It'll be 600 points. Probably not even worth it, honestly. It's not even a primal shard from there. I'm going to go for both of these. Then we're looking at 81,000 more points needed. If I was to throw on the points from the Orc's Path, let's just say I went ahead and got those, what would be the remaining points I would actually need? So it'd be 14.5 times 2 plus 9750, 38,750. So current event points, 38, we'll go 800 because I already got my 50 points set up. So then I'd be looking at 42,000 more points. And if we're looking at points per dollar coming out for shards and stuff and energy around 470, let's say it was 450 points per dollar, 42,301 divided by 450, you're looking at about $100 more without spending any of my resources if I just want to do this. So all in all, if I did this, I'd be coming out at about $160 spent. If we're looking at money, like I said, if you're not a spender, ignore all of this stuff. But I know I got a lot of people who watch who do spend. These are some ways you can go about estimating how much it's actually going to cost you. So $150 for my account, is this worth it for me outside of a content perspective? No. I personally don't need either one of these champions. Kro'khad, his soul, is going to be cool as far as using it on auto Hydra teams. Maybe it could fit in my hard team and boost the damage up a little bit. But I got Titus. He's doing far more. I have Trunda. She's doing far more. Shayak, I'm not really going to use him. But as far as making videos for you guys and sharing the team builds and different stuff, yes, it is going to be worth it in that aspect for me. But if I was just playing the game or just only worried about my account and progression, I don't know how worth it these two champions would be. That is a significant differentiating factor between me and a lot of you guys watching. You don't have to worry about making videos and having the champions for your audience, right? So it is something to consider there as well. Because Hydra, I already got the answers for that. Arena, I have better answers than these. Siege is a potential option that I could potentially work towards. But my clan, they have far better members with orc rooms taken care of. But if you have some of these really strong orcs, maybe you have Warlord taken care of pretty well. Maybe you have Ashnar or Garrel. Maybe you could consider going for this for some clan siege defenses. But in general, I think going for this, if I didn't have content creation to care about, I'd probably just go for Shayak and not really worry about it. And that's probably my plan, honestly. I go for Shayak. I may pick up the dog. It really just depends on how I feel at the end. Because actually now I'm looking at it some more. If I just went for Shayak, wasn't so greedy, said forget about the dog, the soul is cool, but I mean 4-star soul is really cool though. But is it $100 cool? I don't think so. Maybe no, not for my account, no. But you guys let me know. Are you going for the 5-star soul or not? Do you want to see content on the 5-star soul or not? Guys, let me know what you think. The 5-star soul for me, it's not going to be that much different than the 1-star soul as far as what I'm going to do with it. If I had a Kro'khad soul here, I would definitely purchase the 1-star right now just to show Lightning Cage. But I'll be using Stone Skin anyway, so other than Embreeze, maybe it's not that big of a deal. Now that I'm looking at this, of course, I don't want to spend money on something that's going to be basically useless as far as how much I'm actually going to use it. Let's see if I was to get rid of these points here. Am I still within the range? 14,000 points away. Okay, but it basically saves me a good chunk of money not going for this. And I could probably pull back on some of these shards that I end up opening up. So I'll definitely run. Oh, and I could save some gems. So I'll definitely run my spider stuff right now. We'll jump over to hard. We'll do it here. Super raids, no problem. Not that team. But I will do this for sure. And I'll likely dip into some other events. I will be doing some shard pull videos probably tomorrow once I decide everything I'm going to do. But yeah, guys, just use this calculator and plan your event and see what you need to do. Get an idea of what the points per dollar is going to be. Determine if it's even worth it for you to go for that. Decide where you're going to use the champion, all that kind of good stuff. And then pull the trigger and whatever you decide to do, and good luck going for it, guys. Like I said, Aptoid down below, get you some cash back when you make purchases in Raid. The only place I'm making purchases inside of Raid. But either way, thank you all very much for watching. Appreciate it, and I'll catch you all in the next one.